My name is Brae. This is my story. I grew up moving every 6 months to a year. Drugs were the root of everyday life, and even though I had loving parents, it was still an environment that revealed deeper evils. Pornography was introduced to me at an early age, and on my birthdays, I was given dope by friends of the family. I trusted no one. I lived by my own rules. And I didn't believe in a God and actually made fun of those who did. After I was married and had children, my wife and kids were spiritually focused, but I avoided it at all costs. On New Year's Eve 2000, my wife asked me what my New Year's resolution was. And I said, I'm never going to church ever again. She was pretty upset about it, to say the least. 3 months later, I did go to another service, but it was to see my kid's youth pastor make a complete fool of himself. You see, it was his first time preaching that day, and I thought it would be good entertainment to see him flop. I will never forget his opening line that day. He said, "Have you ever wanted to see God?" Yeah, I did. And from that moment on, I was captured. The message was designed just for me. And the youth pastor, he was the instrument to deliver this personal message from God. God orchestrated everything perfectly, and He revealed His truth to me that day. Before, I had people walking on eggshells around me when they shared their faith, but the tables had turned, and I became a raving evangelist. I devoured God's Word. I read the Bible in 7 months. I led friends and family to Christ through my transformation. I led Bible studies in my home. I became part of the leadership at church. And I never looked back, except for to look at the victory that God so deserved. Today, 12 years later, Jesus uses me to reach thousands of people around the world. Leading someone to Jesus is the most amazing, incredible experience. There's nothing more beautiful in the world than to see someone completely changed by the love of Christ. I remember my first time leading someone. I was shocked when they said, "I want to know Jesus." I mean, I was happy, but I was scared because this was so important and I wanted to do it right and not mess it up. God reminded me of the thief on the cross next to Jesus. At the time, I didn't know why, but upon further reflection, He revealed to me that I couldn't mess it up. His grace is beyond measure. The thief on the cross only asked to be remembered, and at that moment, he was saved. It's that easy. It's just that we make it harder than it should be. I had another conversion experience with a young teenage girl. I gave my testimony at church, and afterwards, she approached me with tears in her eyes. She said, "You were talking directly to me." I thought it's just like God to use someone to reach another the same way He reached you. She accepted Christ after I explained to her that it wasn't me talking to her, but God. Outreach is all about giving good news. It's about pulling the gold from people to give them a destiny, a purpose in life. Jesus unveils His truth to them. I don't have to convince them. I love them. We all want that magic formula to lead someone to Christ. Well, Jesus gave us that formula. It's called love. Love people, that's it. Love life, love God. I hope that you too will commit to sharing your faith and God's remarkable love with others. We can change the world, but more importantly, we can change someone's life by introducing them to our best friend, Jesus.